Stock of the Day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended trading hours on key US shares and competitive spreads, all on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.
And our stock of the day is Alliance Aviation Services. It's losing altitude today. The Qantas-backed aviation services provider exiting from a trading halt, flagging materially lower FY26 earnings due to higher costs. Adjusted earnings now expected in the $77 to $85 million range, with profit before tax likely under $50 million. It points to an increase in aircraft and engine prices, as well as maintenance costs and a contract dispute. Qantas shares also tracking lower, with the airline holding a 20% stake in Alliance, and it operates some aircrafts for the Qantas group. Richard, let's start with you.
I think the stock was vulnerable to increasing costs, and that's what we've seen. I mean, like at around $1 million a month for maintenance. That's high. That's a big deal. The depreciation was expected, but I would just have to put this in context. It's about 10% or less of operating earnings. So what we've probably seen is an overreaction, but I think definitely it's going to take a month or two for the stock to settle down. They do have a great business in that they've spent all this money on improving their fleet, and they'll be able to get higher returns from those assets as we've seen with Qantas. But I guess it's just been set back that kind of return through these high maintenance costs. So we're still I own it. It's just given back a few months of gains, but I think overall the business is still a good one. It's just got to absorb this hit.
So given where it's fallen to today, is that a buy for you then?
No, I'm saying we're just holders at the moment, and we're just going to wait. I think there's
blue sky ahead. That's what you're going to say?
No, look, the only way is up.
Yeah. All right. Luke.
Yeah, a really tricky one. Not one I know too well. So I opened the announcement this morning, and when a business goes into an extended trading halt for a trading update, I sort of expect the worst. And I looked at it and I thought, without knowing anything else about the business, it didn't look too bad. They're still guiding to 45, 50 mil profit before tax, as Rich sort of points out. The hits to consensus were sort of a little bit off, but it wasn't a disaster. They did 80 mil profit before tax last year, some extra costs. It's come down to 40, 50, still quite profitable though. And so from that point of view, looks like it's trading on 5 times profit before tax, which is exceptionally cheap for a business that, despite this hiccup, has a very good long-term operating history. I think the issue with it, and I would actually agree with Richard's final take, which is don't try to catch the falling knife here. I think this is one where you just sit on the sidelines and wait. It's that balance sheet. Now, $436 million of net debt. Most of that, if not all of that, is asset-backed by the planes that they own. But where I think, you sort of have to be a bit careful with sort of just taking that net tangible asset number at face value is they've already called out they're not quite sure about their depreciation schedule, which means, maybe there's question marks about the actual asset valuations of all these planes on the balance sheet. They've engaged Barrenjoey to help them with that process, as well as corporate advisor. So there's a few moving parts of this. Managing director, CEOs resigned as well. Yeah, again, a lot of things going into this pot. I wouldn't rush to catch the falling knife. I don't think it's as bad as what a 40% share price fall would suggest. But I'm also not inclined to sort of play around too much with these things where you have a balance sheet with nearly $500 million net debt. So I'll say watch sidelines, interesting one, but wouldn't be rushing to pick it up today.
That is a watch and a hold for our stock of the day, Alliance Aviation.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. Get started at IG.com.